Good afternoon. Welcome to How Money Works Enterprise class. I'm Candy Martin, and I'll be your financial educator for the next 20-30 minutes. This will be one of our shorter sessions. And then at the end of this session for today, we'll have a brief Q&A. The session is being recorded for replay. So if you're watching live, thank you. And for those of you who are watching via YouTube, hello. And for our replay audience, by all means, make sure that you like, you share, you put your comments in. I will be responding on all platforms as soon as I get a chance. So we're going to get started. Like I said, today is going to be one of our shorter sessions. I'm going to start off by playing a quick video, and then after that, we'll get right into the presentation. So I'm going to turn my camera off just for a second, let the video play, and then I'll come back.
More than 5 billion people around the world continue to struggle with money and financial illiteracy.
The financial industry is not set up for you to be educated and know what's going on. The less you know, the more they make.
How bad is financial illiteracy?
It's not taught in school, so people don't know this naturally.
Oh, you're right.
So you grow up not knowing anything about it. You make a lot of mistakes along the way, and we're hoping to educate them and teach them how money really works so they can learn the cause and effect of all this.
And it doesn't have to be generational. Break that cycle.
We're on a crusade to eradicate financial literacy through learning how money really works. Everybody should have an opportunity to become educated.
How money works.
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 Start taking responsibility by learning how money works.
You have to know how money works.
How money works. Stop being a sucker.
Money means possibility. It means opportunity. It means freedom, things you've always wanted to do, dreams that you have. Money makes it possible.
All right. So we are going to be into our next session for today. We're going to discuss the power of compound interest, which is something I think we all love and appreciate. And if we're not sure what that is, we're going to learn in just a few minutes. And if you do not have a copy of the How Money Works book and would like one, reach out to me and we'll get you a complimentary copy as well. All right, so let's get right into it. So we're going to spend a few minutes learning about compound interest. The power of compound interest refers to the growth potential of money over time by leveraging the magic of compounding, which is interest paid on the sum of deposits plus all the interest you've previously paid. So it's interest on top of interest. So it'll all make sense in a few. All right, Einstein once said, compound interest is the greatest mathematical discovery of all time. It has also been called the eighth wonder of the world. One of the most important aspects of compound interest is the rate of return. So if you ever walk into the bank or get something in the mail and they start talking about, hey, we have a rate of return. This is what this conversation is leading. This is where all that comes from. So check out this example where the amount saved per month and the time are all the same. The only change is the rate of return. If you save money, according to this example, with a 1% rate of return, the small green band at the bottom of the chart, that means your money would be a little over 100,000. At 3%, the purple band, if you can see that in here, it's 179,000. But look at the blue band at the top. At a 9% rate of return, your money is worth over $1 million. So it's the same amount of money that you save per month. The difference is, what is the rate of return that the entity where your money is, what is the rate of return that is giving you interest? And so we can see 1% is good, 3% is better, but 9% looking a whole lot better. So that is the difference, of your money is the rate of return. Now let's talk about the time value of money. You can never get time back, or money is lost. But, so here are 3 action steps to leverage the time value of money. Start now. No matter the age, I get a lot of older clients that say, I don't have anything. Is it too late for me? Starting now is the best time to start. So start now, save regularly, make it a habit, be consistent, be dedicated, be committed to it, and be patient, So let's look at this example. We have Cheryl and George here. Both started saving money at the age of 22. Okay. All right. George doesn't start, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. Cheryl started saving at the age of 22. George doesn't start till he's 30. They both put away $4,000 per year. Cheryl starts she started at 22 putting 4,000. George kind of waited around till he was 30, but he started putting $4,000 in as well. Cheryl stopped saving after 8 years. She said, okay, my mission is complete. George, however, saved for 38 years in a row. But look at their total. They both won the game. Neither way was wrong. However, George saved, he started at 30, Cheryl started at 22. However, neither one of them was wrong, but George is almost 5 times as much money as Cheryl. Why? Because even though Cheryl stopped saving after 8 years, she started earlier. She leveraged time value of money, and it made a huge difference. So let's look at the example. The longer you wait, the more you must have. So we want to start now. So look at how much you need to save to have $1 million by age 67. At age 25, you only need $178 per month. So if you're watching this and you're 25 or younger, or if you have children that are 25 or younger, you should just, play this back. This is, and I think a lot of us, myself included, man, if I would have known this when I was 19 or when I was 22, I didn't know how to tell me. You're going to have that feeling, but let me tell you, starting now, it's never too late. So, but for those of you who are younger, take full advantage of this. If you're 30, if you're 32, and you're just starting, even if you're 59, start today. So I just got to reiterate that. So at age 25, you only need to save $128 a month. Now, this is for somebody whose goal is to have $1 million by the time they're 67. Your goal may be different, but the principle still remains the same. If you want to have $2 million, and so you just got to double that, so you can kind of do the math. But we're just going to go with this example. This person is 25 and they want to have $1 million by the time they're age 67, which is the typical average retirement age. So at age 25, you need $178 a month. Now, if you didn't take a class like this and you waited and, you didn't find out about all this stuff and now you're 45, that number jumps to $1,200 a month. So if you're just starting off today, brand spanking new with saving, and you want to have $1 million by the time you're 67, you need to save $1,200 per month. If you're 55 or older, if you're saying, hey, this is 50, I'm 55, I'm just hearing this, you'll need to triple that to $4,000 a month. If your goal is to have $1 million by the time you're 67. So if you're 25, $178 a month. If you're 45, $1,200 a month. If you're 55, $4,000 per month. And then we can, we can do the math to be precisely to your age. I do offer financial planning and financial education. So if you want a specific to your number, to your age, to your goal, let's sit down. Let's have what's called a financial needs analysis. Let's look at it. Let's do an assessment. Let's get in there and let's do the work. If you're already doing something and you want to double check and make sure that you're on track, you don't want to wait 20 years from now to find out you were off track. Let's schedule that complimentary session and let's get the financial planning ball rolling. And if everything is great, then fine. If everything is okay, we can make it better. And if it's way off track, let's start today. So schedule that complimentary consultation so we can get your financial needs analysis done. But back to the presentation, you know, the whole goal is you're never too late to start saving. It is always better to start sooner than later. However, we got to start where we are. And let's say you're 55 and you're starting and you started it, but you're only doing $2,000 a month. You know that if you want to get $1 million, you got to make it 4,000. So, you know, let's just have the talk. Let's see where you really are. Let's see how close you are to your goal, because everybody's goal is different. But if you were wanting to have $1 million by the time you were 67 and you're 25, $178 a month to do it for you. So speaking of starting early, here's another concept of leveraging time, leveraging the time value of money. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start on this one. May not get all the way through. We'll pick, we do have another session later this evening. If you are watching live, it is going to be at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time today, which is November 21st. If you're watching a replay, just, you know, simply click over to the next video and it'll just pick up. But those of you who are watching live, we're going to do as much of this as we can. We have about 10 more minutes, and then we'll open it up for Q&A, and then we'll close it out for this shorter session, and then we'll pick back up this evening where we have about an hour and 15 minutes. So anyway, so only 20% of children will receive an inheritance, and we're talking today's time. Who in here, you know, think about it. You know, who would you love to make sure, wouldn't you love to make sure that your children, grandkids, or your nieces and nephews, for those that may not have biological children of your own, you have nieces and nephews, you have a charity, you know, somebody that you want to leave an inheritance to, you know, so are you set for your retirement, and are you set to leave a legacy? So we just want to, you know, consider that. So for this example, if you want to give your children $1 million as their retirement, not your retirement, but their retirement, which is more likely? You either give them $1 million in cash when they're adults, or you develop a plan right now and put away a fraction of that amount for the child while they're young. So either you can say, hey, when my child retires, if I'm still blessed to be living, I'm going to give them $1 million. I'm going to put $1 million in a savings account and make it a trust. And I'm going to do that today. I'm going to run down to my local bank. I'm going to put $1 million in here and say, hey, when my child retires at age 67, give them this $1 million. If that is not your story or your situation, you may want to see what other options you have to make sure that, you know, you can do that. So here's the way to think about it. How many of you, you know, purchased a used car before? Raise my hand first. Have you looked at the used car prices lately? Let me ask you a question. You know, is it unreasonable for someone to put down about $2,500 down, pay about $250 a month for 4 years for a used car? Now let's think about that. What is most important, a used car or your child's future? Okay. If you took that same used car money, you could use it in the time value of money, and $250 a month starting now will ensure that when your kids retire, that they would have $1 million. So, you know, just kind of go back and look at the math here. You know, just, you know, kind of looking at that, you know, putting $250 a month away, for 4 years, I'm just gonna let that sink in. So, that's kind of where we're gonna pause for today. And we're gonna really dive into it this evening at our 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time session. We're gonna pick up talking about the rule of 72, and then we're gonna just kind of talk about more of that interest, that time value of money, the power of compound interest we're gonna get more into those conversations. So what I want to do at this time is I'm gonna pause the recording in just a second. If you would like more information, whether it be a book, it be to schedule a consultation, to do that financial needs analysis that I spoke about, you want to text the word money, MONEY, to the number 985-326-9297. Once again, text the word money, MONEY, and you want to text it to the number 985-326-9297. And from that, you'll get a link where you're able to schedule the complimentary financial needs analysis. And you're also able to request a copy of the book if you do not already have the How Money Workbook that was mentioned at the beginning of this session for today. So I'm going to pause it. And now, those of you who are watching on social media, YouTube, you will have to either text your question or put it in the chat where you're watching, and I'll respond to it later. Those of you who are watching live. For those of you that are on the Zoom with me, once I press pause, stop the recording, you'll be able to unmute yourself and ask your question at that time. But those of you who are watching the replay, at whatever time, just simply reach out and I will definitely get back with you to answer all of your questions. So thank you guys for now, but those of you on Zoom, you may stay on so that we can get your questions answered once I stop the recording. So once again, you can text the word money, MONEY, to 985-326-9297. And I look forward to seeing you guys on tonight. And I look forward to you guys scheduling those complimentary sessions. So let me pause the recording. And we will see you guys in a second.